So I got to ask as well, because I think you're familiar with this section of YouTube of men now voicing their opinion of their relationships with the Black woman. So I just got to hear your thoughts of the information that you've seen thus far.
Well, we have to be careful with that, especially when it's coming from men. I think that a lot of men who are talking about us as Black females out here have a little bit more ulterior motives, even though a lot of their points, some of them are good. But some of the men sound like they have either been turned down by a woman or turned out by a man. And I'm not sure which one it is yet. So I just listen and just see. But it comes around, as I said, about every generation.
Awesome. And let me also touch on this because, you know, and I had the opportunity to go and read through the book, and I read it from cover to cover. And I'll tell you what, like I'm looking at, I was reading through the book, and it was like every chapter that I went through, I was thinking about another past dating relationship or something. I'm like, oh, that's why that happened. It was amazing. And so within the book, and, you know, you've been criticized famously for the critique or, you know, just speaking about the behavior, right? So thinking through what that is, right? Can you talk about the importance of the coexisting between the Black man and the Black woman in the face of the modern feminism as it exists today?
Well, a lot of our behavior we haven't really made certain decisions about, because so many things have been shattered of certain standards and values and mores that now it's difficult to ascertain what is considered bad for us, what is considered good for us. And a lot of times when you bring up things that have historically been good for us, people say that's old school, that's old timey, and that they don't too much want to deal with that. They think we're living in a modern time where things have changed. And they have changed, but change don't mean better. Change just means different. So a lot of what we used to stand for and be with has changed for the worse.
So let me also hit the conversation like this. Is that, and I'm not sure how aware of you are of this, but there's been a recent movement of men that are Black men that are saying they don't want to participate in dating Black women anymore. They do things and they say, you know, save yourself, Black man, and you know, they might be traveling to other countries, or just some are just, you know, completely going into hermit mode and just not dealing with Black women at all. What do you say for those men that have lost hope in marrying the Black woman?
Well, I would say that that's the closest way to suicide if they really feel like that. See, because if there's no you, there's no me. There's no me, there's no you. I'm the only thing on earth that can reproduce you, okay, in the cleanest form that's possible. And you are the only thing on earth that can impregnate me to create yourself. And so this idea that we're going to just quit each other and not seek a solution is just suicide. Our birth rates are already low. So at a time when we should try to get along for more than one night, I'm not talking about no one night stand, I mean in a regular relationship, we should be trying to get along. We should be teaching our children to get along. See, my new market today, brother, is the children of the parents who I tried to reach 30 years ago. And so they didn't model for their children. They didn't teach them things. And so now their children are asking me and demanding from them, why didn't you tell me the truth about this? How come I didn't know anything about this? They too learned how to have a relationship from television, from the people that do not represent us, and from just modern times, contemporary issues and stuff like that. But that's not anything that's going to save us. We are the only things that can save us, ourselves. And it's not going to come through no food stamps, no grant, you know, no job. It's not going to come from any of that. It has to come through our change of behavior to each other.
Can you touch on the topic of Black women saying they are unprotected and the implication it has on Black masculinity?
Well, a woman has to be in a position that she can be protected.
Uh-oh.
A woman has to deserve protection by the way she live her life or present herself.
Talk to him.
A woman has to require protection because she is in her place, in her lane. And then men might feel that they can step in and protect her. A lot of our women don't want to be protected. You can't protect them whether anybody bothering along. Sometimes we try to protect our women from a bad idea. She don't want no protection. So there's no situation where a man that don't know a woman can walk down the street and see somebody doing something to her and automatically just jump in. So that has to be an individual choice, and it has to be a situation where the woman is in order, not out there cussing, jumping up in men's face, screaming and hollering, acting a fool, trying to act like she a man. And then when some other man deal with her like she a man, then she want you to jump in and save her. It don't work like that.
It doesn't.
It don't work like that.
It absolutely doesn't.
And you have to be careful, because black women will book a fight for you and walk away.
Yeah, early, right? How many of our black men are in jail right now because of situations like that? And I know a lot of brothers who are taking time for sisters.
So, we need to watch that. They get them in trouble. They call themselves being a man, taking it, the weight for the problem. And then she gone. He in jail. So we have that situation. And we have a lot of sisters where the brothers have tricked them out of their money. Okay, now let me say this. If we are happy with a man, we don't care nothing about no money. So don't believe that lie. That he got my money and we would give him some more if he was treating us like we wanted to be treated, or taking care of our children emotionally like we want. See, those are our requirements. It's a lot of things we make like it's important in the end. But what is a few dollars to certain happiness? See, that's how that is. Money don't mean nothing in that way.
It really doesn't. And I try to push that on the channel so much that, if you look at our media today, and they push all of this money, they got money up to their ears.
And men have to be careful, because a lot of times when a woman get with a man and she start buying him a lot of stuff, his shoes, his sneakers, chains, tattoos, a whole lot of stuff. You got to be careful about that, because a lot of times women do that so they can own a dude. And then a lot of times if we get mad at you and fall out, we say, give me all my stuff back.
So what do you say to those that are looking for men that are six figures plus, when in reality the majority of us are not doing that? I think the average salary is around $42,000 per year. If you had a singular message for them, what would you say?
Well, I think, as I said, that we have some unrealistic expectations. The society has insisted that we demand from our man the one thing that they haven't allowed them to get, and that's money. And based on that, I would say good luck to them. But if the woman is looking for that, she might get in that real low old age still looking for that. So she might have to just find somebody that they can pool their resources and put their little money together and try to make it. The other thing is for us to stop demanding everything that the enemy sell, trying to keep up with the Joneses and thinking we got to have a different outfit for every day. All of that's just based on financial. That's not because anybody wants to see us looking nice. It's just they make money off of us, and so they always want to come up with any kind of scheme they can to get us to give them the money. The money we spend on cell phones, the money we spend on drugs, the money we spend on alcohol, the money we spend on brand name clothes. Most of the money we have, we give away to other people by trying to make ourselves look presentable or be presentable. So, my grandson used to tell me, I don't want to wear that because they're going to be looking at me. I say, well, who is the they? And, we as adults, we talk about, well, you can't wear white after Labor Day. Why? Who said that? See, I have to know who say different things. I have to examine them before I just jump on the bandwagon and stuff. And I want to know, well, who said it and why they say that, when, whatever. And so, you have that kind of situation.
Our culture is clearly in disarray, right? We've already established that. And we're trying to change it. But let me ask, from your opinion, who should be leading the charge? The black man or the black woman?
Well, it's going to have to be the black man. Ain't nobody scared of the black woman. All that woofing we doing, it's just a lot of talk to get attention. It's not, worth anything. And so our men are going to have to lead it. There's going to come a time, I keep saying, just not getting along is a luxury. But there's going to come a time that we're going to get along. And women who you thought would never pay any attention to you will be talking to you and giving you the eye. Okay, so y'all just be a little more patient. It's coming, because we have to rely on you for protection. I'm talking physical protection now, because the enemy is treating our women like they treat our men. They'll throw our women down and stomp them or shoot them just like they do y'all. So this thing, we finally got equality on that, okay? So they're attacking us the same way. So what we have to have is a man to come in there and help protect our food. We might have to have a man to go get us some food. And so all of that, but I don't like him because of this, and I don't like him because, that's going to change. But so many are being lost while we're waiting on that change to come about. So many of our people are being lost. I'm not even sure what the future is going to bring on that, because so many people are destroying themselves, and so many of us have the values so messed up that we actually think that good sex means it's a good relationship.
Talk to him.
And that's not true.
We get some of Mama's cooking here today. Listen, so let me, and I know exactly what it is that you're talking about, because when the COVID started, man, I was getting some weird DMs. I'll tell you that. I was getting some weird DMs. Like,
Listen,
okay.
You know we're lonely and desperate. We just don't want anybody to know it. So we hide behind our big job, our big car, our credit card, and all those different things. But listen, we are lonely, and I'm going to tell you what a lonely woman won't do. Y'all can have anybody you want, because everybody's available, okay? And all of this about, I don't want no man unless he got a good credit rating, unless he right with the Lord. And all of this foolishness that we have made up to explain why we are not with a man. Not because of whatever values and standards we have shut up. You know, so many women tell me, I ain't met nobody to meet my standards. I say, you don't even meet them. And nobody, you're not going to meet that. That's not going to happen. People are attracted to people that are more similar in their values. And so we have to teach back again our children certain standards and values so that they will be attracted to that. As opposed to going out and getting somebody laying in the gutter talking about, I love them, I feel sorry for them, I can help them. We have to help self. That's not being selfish, but you have to help self first so that you are strong enough mentally and physically to help anybody else. And that includes our children. It would make our children love and respect us more if we say stop running the streets or going to the club or sitting up getting high with them or drinking all the time. Even though that's what's happening, that's not what they want for us. And it's like a man. He don't want his woman doing certain things or dressing certain ways. And every time we go out and dressing really overly sexy, we're putting our man's life in danger. Because if somebody say to us out of order, say something to us out of order or wrong, then his manhood say he got to step up and defend us over nothing, over some foolishness. And if you got a man and you satisfied and happy with him, then why are you going out trying to entice new men? And the more clothes a woman take off, the more desperate she is. That don't mean she bold and brave and want to get with somebody. That means she's desperate. And that's a cry. Please give me some attention. Please look at me. Say something. Do something. That's what that is. And that's the condition of many of us. That's not anything that's an insult. We're talking reality. We have got to deal with the reality of our lives so that we can make corrections. But making up all of this stuff and then have them conferences where ain't nothing there but black women.
Right.
Yeah. And some of the people that used to be against me, and even some of the new people that's out. If you don't have any track record, if you don't have any proof that you have had a good relationship or are in one, then don't come out trying to tell me how to have one when yours failed.
Uh-oh.
Now, that's my only position about that. Okay.
And that's
you
a good
don't have
position.
the authority to tell me how to fail too. I mean, what have you got for me?
Uh-oh.
And so we have to look at those kind of things too. You have to have credibility. And I think that's why I have lasted all these years, because all of the people who listen to me teach, I haven't changed my teachings because we haven't changed our behavior. It's not time to change it. And they'll tell me, yeah, but that's old school. Yeah, you used to say that. Well, we used to do it, and we're still doing certain things that are deteriorating and destroying our homes and making our own children grow up and kill us. That's new.